Mark Galea. I'm one of the two directors of the museum, and we've been here for about 7 years now, just over 7 years. The museum's been going for in Echuca for about 30 years.
And I'm Tony Galea. I'm the other director. If you're wondering about the surname, we do have the same surname. Some people think we're brothers. We're actually not brothers. We're not even related. So I've visited this museum many a times. Altogether, it's been going for 40 years in various locations, and I've been to every location. Mark and I bought the business. We bought it together, and we had this dream. So I think we've fulfilled our dream. So it started in Bayswater, the Holden Museum, in 1984. The Hughes brothers, they started their little museum, so they were way before their time. And from there, they moved the collection to Wangaratta, Dragewell. So there for I think about a year and a half. Then they moved to Bendigo Pottery. They're there for a short time as well. And when this building became available, they moved the Holden Museum here in 1993, July 1993, and it was officially opened by the managing director of Holden at the time.
So basically, how it all started was I was on a rally, about 150 odd cars, quite a few years ago, and it was a Murray River rally, and we come down to Echuca, and I came here for the first time, and I was talking to the owner, who said he wanted an EK Holden, the then owner. He wanted an EK Holden. I said, I might be able to help you out there. So then I spoke to Tony, who had the EK, and then he told us he wanted to sell the business. If he didn't sell it, he was just going to close it down. And so we got talking and decided to make the big move from Melbourne and come up here.
Well, I grew up with Holdens. First real car I remember is FB Holden. My father, I think, bought it about in 1963, 64. So I remember going on family holidays in the FB Holden sedan. Went to various locations. So I started off from there, and I've owned a Holden ever since.
Yeah, well, my dad also had an FB Holden, and basically taught me to drive in that when I was probably 11-year-old or something. And when I was about 12 or 13, a family friend donated me an EK Holden. So I had that, I used to drive that around the paddock for a number of years around in Noble Park. And then eventually took it up to my grandfather's farm in out near Metcalfe. I mean, my favourite all-time car would be hatchback Tirana or an A9X, even a Ford. They're my favourite cars probably of all time.
We've had a lot of good cars through here and all that, but I tend to like cars that are unrestored, that are still, like the South African Monaro in here, 70,000 Ks. It's a Bathurst Monaro, assembled in South Africa. Still don't know how that happened, but that'd be a good car to own. Yeah, very original.
2 months ago, we had Shane Jacobson come here, who actually has a car in here from the movie Charlie and Boots.
We've had Jim Richards through here. Famous. That was last year.
Paul Beachy was here, yeah. Peter Brock used to visit here very often.
Yeah. Also, Peter Brock's brother, Philip Brock, been in here a few times as well.
One lady came in, and she was in the original Monaro ad.
Yes.
And she was the model, and I think she was probably in her 80s maybe, but she came in only 6 months ago or something like that. And she was in that original HK Monaro ad. Yeah.
With the museum, previous owner, well, he never advertised it. He just had a chat to us, and he was going to close, basically. So it was going to happen both years ago. we were able to lock in a 10-year lease because we don't own the building, but that was it. There was no extension. Last year, I was feeling a bit tired and, just it's every day, 7 days. I was thinking of, retiring early. I always had a wish to retire early. I had a chat to Mark. I said, look, Mark, I'm thinking about finishing up. Would you like to buy my share? And Mark goes, well, I'm actually thinking the same thing. So he was on the same wavelengths. So that's why we put it on the market, hoping that it could continue. But once again, there was no extension on the lease, but the building was available as well. So, and we had no luck, no serious offers, and so we decided to go the next step because we can't be here forever. Burns & Co. They sold the Alberto collection, and I know that Burns & Co. originally Mildura, so they kind of they did. I believe they did a great job on that auction. I mean, they had a lot of quality cars. So, and we approached them because they specialise in museums, memorabilia, and classic vehicles. So.
Basically, they look after all the options and look after the whole, so we don't have any problems with. They know what they're doing and they do their thing and they're very well organised.
Also, a friend of mine, Greg Glenn from across the river, Burns & Co. sold his massive collection of, went for 6 days. I spoke to Greg before we approached Burns & Co. He couldn't speak highly enough of you, so he was very happy. The communication was there. You took everything down, and you didn't leave until everything was done. So he couldn't speak highly enough of you. Yeah.